Hello, this is OverlordBou, and we're back with another ship review video, and today we'll be looking at the new Tier 6 Russian battleship, the Novorossiysk. So, this new Tier 6 Russian battleship you can get from the current combat missions for it. The final set where you can get this ship from will be available starting on December 15th. Even though this is a free ship and you can get it from missions, I would not recommend playing it. I would not recommend playing the ship, and I'll talk about that in the video. So let's look at the armor real quick. So it has a 16mm bow and aft with a nice little armor on the side here. Very nice, very nice. It does have a turtle back, which is pretty convenient. Very nice indeed. Now let's go over the equipment. So for the equipment will be main armament with damage con, aiming systems, steering gear, and for the commander, I would run the preventative maintenance, vigilance, adrenaline rush, fire prevention, concealment expert, emergency repair, and the base survivability. Now with the build out of the way, let us watch the replay while I go over the stats of the ship, among other features. Alright, so the ship's survivability, it has 40,100 HP. It has a 16mm bow and stern with a 26mm forward deck with a 43mm rear deck. It also has 26mm forward sides, 130mm rear side armor, 80 through 130mm armor as well. It also almost exact same armor layout as the Andre Doria, the tier 6 Italian battleship that came out recently, except for the bow and stern being 16mm. Now, the ship does have a above water citadel, even though it does have a turtleback. It does have an above water citadel though, which makes it quite dangerous to get citadel if you're not careful. Now, this ship does have a 30% torpedo protection system, and plus on top of that, it does have the lowest HP pool for tier 6 BBs. It is also vulnerable to citadels due to the high position of the citadel, and notably with it having a 16mm bow and stern armor, it allows any battleship or supercruiser to overmatch your bow and stern, which is a very huge disadvantage. Also, DDHE can pen her bow and stern as well, which is a huge nice indeed. But it does have an above average torpedo protection compared to other tier 6 battleships. So overall, for survivability, this is the least durable of the tier 6 BBs, outclassed by some tier 5 battleships even. While her rear deck and side armor are well protected, the 16mm bow and stern armor allow even DDs to deal effective damage to her. Now let's talk about the main armament of the ship. The ship has two twin 320mm 44 guns and two triple 320-44mm guns, a total of 10 guns total with the ABXY layout. Now these guns have a 30-second reload, 36 turret traverse, and can fire broadside 35 degrees to the rear and 35 degrees off of the bow. Now the base range of these guns is 17.5 kilometers base range with a sigma of 1.4, but it does get super cruiser dispersion though. Now these guns are the same as the Julius Caesar, has the same AP and ballistics on the Drea Doria. Average gun angles, it uses the super cruiser dispersion, more accurate compared to other BBs, but is offset by the poor 1.4 sigma, but still more accurate than other BBs. It does have relatively poor AP pen compared to other tier 6 BBs, and AP shells also does less damage. Now the Novorossiysk is one of the more accurate tier 6 BBs due to her using the battle cruiser dispersion. though accurate, this is offset by her poor shell performance and above reload times. This means that the Novorossiysk excels at punishing cruisers, though BBs will be an issue, especially at longer distances due to her poor AP performance. Now let's talk about the secondary guns. The secondary guns are 6 times twin 100mm 50 guns and 6 twin 120mm 50 guns. Now these have a 5-kilometer range and have a normal secondary accuracy, which is quite bad. So there's nothing remarkable about the Novorossiysk secondary battery, not worthy investing in secondaries. Now for airstrikes. Now the airstrikes, which are for the depth charges, can store 1 use. The damage per depth charge is 2100 damage and 6 dropped per attack run. Now the reload time of these depth charges is 60 seconds. And now these are the same depth charges attack as the US and Russian BBs, but it does have the worst airstrike depth charge attack of the tier 6 BBs. Now for the anti-air. Now for the anti-air, it has 1 flak explosion, with it having an outer DPS of 28 damage per second for the outer ring of anti-air, and the mid being 189 DPS. Now this means that this ship has very poor anti-air, and it will struggle to shoot down planes as CVs continuously attack her over and over and over again. And she is somewhat vulnerable to AP bombs as well. And again, with this level of anti-air, this ship is wholly inadequate to deal with even tier 6 CVs. So if you get up to tier 8, you are going to be in a whole lot of trouble. And only her maneuverability will save her from taking damage. So you just got to learn to dodge. Now for the maneuverability. Now this ship has a 27.8 knot base speed, which of course is without the flag. I believe with the flag, if you put it on, it goes to almost 30 knots, which is pretty nice, Now the ship does have a 660 millimeter turning circle with a 12.9 rudder shift time. Now this is above average space speed for the tier 6 BBs. It also has a good turning radius as well, just slightly inferior to the US BBs and the Bayern. Now, with it also having a responsive rudder shift, it's only beaten by the New Mexico and Ismail for its maneuverability with its rudder among tier 6 BBs. Now, overall, this is a very excellent maneuverability. The Novorossiysk will appreciate the relatively good maneuverability to help compensate for her mediocre armor protection. Now let's talk about her concealment. Now for her concealment, for base, it has a 14.7 base for sea, and for aerial, it goes to 7.8 kilometers base. Now for air, it's 7.8 kilometer base, I apologize. And for best consumption for all builds, it's 13.5 kilometer for the sea, and for air, it's 6.9 kilometers. And with having a smoke fire penalty of 12.5 kilometers. Now this is poor concealment values for tier 6 BBs. Now let's talk about the consumables. Now for the consumables, it has Russian quick reload DCPs, which you start with 4 charges, has 10-second immunity period with a 40-second reload. And in that, it has a standard repair party, but instead of having the normal 4, it starts off with 3 instead. Now, this Russian-style DCP helps Novorossiysk survive pretty much dot damages, but her main damage will come from penetrations due to her weak armor. Now, what are my overall impressions? So my overall impression of this ship, it is a high skill floor, but a low to average skill stealing ship. For randoms, I would say it's very poor. It can punish broadside cruisers effectively, but against battleships or higher tier ships, you are going to literally suffer. As you'll be seeing through most of this match here, I'm trying to do as much as I can as Dunkirk, but I am just suffering over and over and over again. Now for ranked. For ranked, although she's effective against cruisers, she struggles versus DDs and battleships. Unfortunately, DDs and BBs are more common, so it's definitely not a good option to bring her into ranked. Now, for operations, she could be good thanks to her somewhat more consistent guns and ability to punish lower tier cruisers, which are seen in operations. But there are still better ships for operations though. But for it being a free ship for just doing missions, it can be alright for just using operations grab pretty much. So this is essentially the Russian version of the Andre Doria. It's pretty much the Novorossiysk is the tier 6 BB that trades survivability for more accurate main guns. Though her guns have battlecruiser accuracy, this is offset by the low 1.4 Sigma and poor AP shell quality. And to achieve her slightly upgraded guns, she essentially has tier 5 hull survivability, being similar to her tier 5 counterpart, the Julius Caesar. Technically speaking, the Novorossiysk is pretty much a Julius Caesar, which was captured by the Russians and pretty much upgraded a bit, and now it's why it's a tier. That's pretty much what this is now. So it's pretty much an upgraded Julius Caesar, if you want to compare it like that in a way. It's pretty much a stolen Julius Caesar. Let's just say that. So the Russian DCP does make her more resistant to fires, but against this is offset by her tendency to eat significant penetration damage from any angle. Novorossiysk AA is also quite bad and capable of fending off even tier 6 CV attacks. Her saving grace is her very good maneuverability with a respectable top speed and tight turning radius. Overall, the Novorossiysk is generally outclassed by other tier 6 BBs since she has trouble being able to pen them and not get overly penetrated by them over and over and over again. But she can still fight equally tier ships, but still heavily struggles when up tiered. Now, this ship would definitely be good as a port queen or for operations, but I do not recommend this ship for the gameplay, except for snowflakes or operations. And since it is, if this ship was even sold at all, you can only get this from the mission, I would never recommend this ship for people to buy. It is just not worth it when there's other really good tier 6 BBs you can get instead. Now, this match goes on for another 4 minutes where we're literally just chasing down the Fuso. And of course the Fuso dies, which is a very nice kill there. I didn't get to kill it, sadly. And then, as you can see, there's run away. It's just a disaster, just people running away. But anyway, now let's look at the stats for this match real quick. So for this match, I did 92,000 damage, which is actually impressive for this tier. So I'm actually proud of myself to be able to do that in this ship. Very proud of myself indeed. And I did get 1 kill. Wait, how many kills did I get? I got 1 kill and 1 citadel. Pretty nice, pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, base XP wise, I didn't do the best. I was 3rd on the team with 1,395, but damn, look at that New Mexico up top there. He was top of the team, carrying this match. Well done by him indeed, well done. But yep, that will be it for this video. If you guys have any questions on the Novorossiysk, definitely let me know down in the comments down below. Again, I would not recommend this ship for playing. It's more of a port queen or to use in operations. And again, this ship does become available starting December 15th, when you can get the missions to start grinding for them to be able to play, to be able to earn this ship through the missions. But yep, this is OverlordBou, and I'll talk to y'all later. Oh, big stretch, dude. Oh, big stretch, yeah.